Hey guys, it's Deli here. Welcome to another tiny build video because obviously the tiny stuff pack has just come out, so I'm doing a lot of tiny builds. And basically what I wanted to do first off was complete the micro tiny home, which we've already done. And now in this video, I'm building the tiny home. In the last video, I decided to build it with you guys step by step in real time, but this one I just kind of did it in my own time, but filmed it for you guys. And now I'm obviously speaking over it as it's doubled up in speed to get done a little bit more quickly, because it's probably a little bit similar to the last one we did. But I think maybe for the next tiny build we do, which is a small house, I think part of that challenge is going to be to go for a different style completely, like something that's maybe more old-fashioned as a tiny home and not be led so much by the aesthetic of the pack, because I feel like that mid-century modern vibe kind of directs you to build a certain way. At least it does for me. So yeah, that's what we'll try and do in the next part if you're kind of watching this and thinking, oh, it's too similar to the last one. But I'll let you guys decide. So yeah, for this one, we had to keep it, oh, I can't even see what it is right here, at 64 tiles max. So this was actually a lot easier to build. I only had one sim to build for, and that meant I only needed one bed. So I thought instead of using the Murphy bed, I'll use the single bed in this build. We use a Murphy bed in the last. And you know, I probably should have tried to fit 2 bedrooms into this because there's a lot of tile space for the tiny home. But instead, I decided to do 1 bed and then on top of the build, actually do like a rooftop area, which also does count as tiles. So you guys will see that unfold in just a moment. And yeah, basically I just thought, you know what, I want to make it look cozy, cool, use as many of the new objects as I can again. And I feel like whenever I get a new pack, that's what I want to do. I just want to use all the new items, get used to experimenting with them, placing them out, or placing them down rather, and yeah, just having fun with it. What's the first thing you guys do with a new pack if you have The Sims? I know a lot of you guys watch these videos without having purchased The Sims or having a computer or console to play The Sims on. But for those of you guys who do play The Sims, what do you do when you get a new pack, or what have you done? Or what was the very first thing you did in The Sims? I can't remember what I did in The Sims 4 for the very first time. I remember we had Create a Sim demo before The Sims 4 came out. So I did like a sim. I remember she was really blonde and she had the love heart tattoo, which I really liked, and I made her. That was the first thing I did. And then in Sims 2, I remember building when I first played it and just looking at all the different items that were like glass items. There's a glass table or something like that. It's funny the things you remember sometimes. And a lot of mint green colors I used. I don't know. This is what I remember. I also thought for this build, in the previous one, I used all the packs. Like, I didn't restrict myself at all. I just wanted to use as many tiny stuff pack items as possible, but I didn't restrict myself. For this one, we're going to use mostly base game and tiny living items. I think the only non-base game items I'm going to use is for the fence and balustrade on the staircase, just because the one I used, I think, was from Dine Out. It just lent itself so well to this pack. I was like, it looks like it's part of the mid-century modern vibe, so I did use that. And I think I also may have used a couple of bushes on the exterior of the house. I think I did from Get Together, just so there was some greenery on the sides. So I did use a couple of things that aren't base game. I'm sorry. But if you want to download this house, I'll put it on the gallery as soon as I can. I was given early access thanks to EA Game Changers. So I will I'll put this on the gallery as soon as I can. And if you guys want to download it and you don't have those extra packs, it's all right. You just have to replace just a little bit of the fencing and the staircase balustrade. So it's pretty easy. I love this poof. It is my favorite thing, but I actually heard that you can't sit on the poof, or your Sims can't sit on the poof. I mean, obviously you can't sit on the poof, but yeah, they can't actually sit on it, which I was surprised by because all the other ones we have in the game, you can. So I don't know if that was wrong or right, but anyway, yeah, apparently you can't sit on it. So I thought thought it was cute to kind of use it as a little side table. I love using these new lights coming down next to the bed so you don't have to have a lamp. It's already built into the ceiling. I thought that was kind of nice. And I think that thing with tiny living is trying to still give the feeling of some privacy in the house, even though you have such a small space. So that's why I've kind of tucked the bed around the corner away from the kitchen, so you do get that little bit of privacy if you want to go lie down and someone is still in the kitchen doing their thing. Or if you have friends over and want to go to bed or something before they leave, I don't know, that you can do. And I'm also using these base game counters because I'm just revisiting these industrial counters. I've loved them since we got The Sims 4, and I feel like it's because they have that beautiful wood top to them, and none of the other ones do. I just love it. Although Island Living, did Island Living have a wooden top to them? Can't remember. So then we're using the dining table. We're using a couch we didn't use in the last build because we used the Murphy bed as a couch. So I love this couch and I love the armchair as well. I think they're really fun and colorful. And there's some nice muted colors as well. Using the little TV cabinet again. I like the other one, but I feel like this one's just more tiny, teeny tiny looking. Takes up less room. And this wallpaper is just like a plain gray, then putting over some base game wooden panels to kind of go with that mid-century vibe again. And yeah, it's just coming along now. But this could be a nice little house for a sim who, I don't know, maybe they inherited a bit of money and they were able to get a little bit of land and build a little bit of a house. Nothing too crazy, but they were able to build something very comfortable for themselves to start off in. So I guess these tiny homes could be like starter homes, except then we would have to have a budget. We should do a starter home tiny build challenge. So we have to use a starting amount of budget and are restricted to the size of the tiny or micro home. That would be a good challenge. Let me know if any other challenges you would like me to try in the comments down below. But generally, I think I do like this stuff pack. It's probably up there for one of my favorite stuff packs just because I love the functionality of having that tiny challenge built into the game. It is satisfying, and then that you also get all of the new traits to kind of reinforce the reason for doing it. I feel like in The Sims sometimes things that you do, there's not enough reinforcement for doing them. So for example, when we had the magic game pack, Realm of Magic, I felt like the spells that you unlocked and the potions weren't exciting enough to want to play that. So I feel like being rewarded with really good traits like double skill building in a micro home is really good. Building up relationships really quickly. I think those are really worthwhile. Worthwhile living the tiny life for, you know? If I could build my skills a lot more quickly in real life, if I lived in a tiny home, I'd live in a tiny home. I'd do that. And then up here is going to be our upstairs garden landing, I suppose, rooftop garden. The thing with tiny living, I think I would have loved to see more items leaning towards sustainability. I think that would have been really cool to maybe put a water tank in the pack, or maybe some solar panels that would have brought the cost down a bit. Those kind of items would have been really, really cool. So I'm really hoping that we see some more sustainable packs, or even a pack that kind of brings the mechanics of tiny living, that you do have the lot type of a tiny home and there are traits you unlock if you complete the challenge. Maybe we could do that with some kind of sustainable living pack where if you have certain things on your lot, then you unlock things as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe you're kind of able to follow me. That would be nice. And of course, I would have loved to get a ladder in the pack like everyone else. We just want a ladder. It took us how many years to get the plain white door? My next thing is like, I need a ladder. So hopefully we can get that soon. I think the Murphy bed was really fun, but in some ways I'm like, okay, so the Murphy bed needed special animation. If a ladder needed special animation, I almost would have preferred just to get a ladder animation instead of the Murphy bed animation in order to fit it into this stuff pack. But I suppose a ladder isn't as much of an exciting selling point as a Murphy bed on a packet. You know, if you're in the store and you like see Sims 4 Tiny Living and it's like featuring a ladder, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that. You know, the marketing team was probably like, you know, maybe you should think about something else you could animate for. So, I mean, I get it. I just want it though. I want it so badly. Hopefully soon. And yeah, up here, I like using that little grass flooring tile up there. And you can see that we've also completed our 64 tiles. We cannot add any more. Absolutely not. And for this build, I wanted it to look a little bit darker. The last one, we made it all like the light woods in the pack. And we used some glass roof, so I guess it is quite different. It is a little bit different. It kind of looks like it's by the same architect though, you know, when you can kind of see someone's art style. It's kind of like the deli tiny home look. So next time I'm going to change it up. If there's a theme, let me know. Or if you have Twitter, tweet me some inspiration pictures. I love getting inspo pictures. These are just some base game windows, chucking them in there, and they're beautiful and big. So you can see the great outdoors from the tiny living space. I mean, who needs a big house when you're in a tiny home looking out a big window into the big great outdoors? I tried to make that sound so poetic, and it kind of almost got there. So yeah, these are the fencing I was telling you about, or this is the fencing I was telling you about that isn't base game, but it just like suited this so well. It just kind of looks like it's a part of the pack. So I like that. But I definitely think if you're building with tiny living, another pack that would go with it quite nicely that we haven't used with it much is the laundry day stuff pack, just because it does have that sustainable vibe about it. And the idea of kind of fitting a little laundry in, and there's like the ironing board that you can put on the side of the house, the washing tub. I just feel like that complements this pack really well. And I am excited to see what the community voted stuff pack turns out to be, because that is all about knitting, crafts, and I feel like that could work really well with this too. Also, these pots were floating because I was a level too high. It took me a second to realize. I was like, what is going on? So just mismatching those pots. I've gotten to the stage in my life now, in my Sims gameplay life, where I don't ever have those pots match. I always have to have different ones, because in my mind, you gather the garden pots over time. You don't go out and buy like 10 and all match. I mean, maybe you do, but I personally wouldn't. Love this little shelf here in the bathroom. And I've actually put this in the kitchen as well, even though it looks more like it would sit in a bathroom, just because it just looks cute above the sink with a little towel. And I thought these base game clothes hanging items worked really well too. I thought, you know what, this person's going to be just like sleeping with their jackets in their face, so maybe we'll move that over a little bit. And what is with the bedspreads in The Sims, like the bedding? Linen, doona cover, cushions, duvet, whatever you call them in your countries. What is with them always being so nice? Like, if I had a bed made that nicely with all of these nice colors and like a nice little throw in it, I would be living like a queen. I kind of feel like we need some more basic beds. They do look nice though, but I don't know anyone whose bed looks so nicely made. I wouldn't mind, you know what could be cool, if beds were sometimes left unmade. Remember in Sims, was it Sims 3 or Sims 2? You'd have to make your bed and like water the house plants. I liked that. I liked that your sloppy Sims could just like leave their beds unmade. I love these paintings as well. I think these paintings are a really nice mix. I was pleased to see like 3 different styles of illustrations in them. That was good. There's also some gardening items outside on the deck. And then that mirror that sits up quite high on the wall. Got that there too. I think the mirror is sitting up higher because if you wanted to put it above one of the dresses, which is a little taller, it sits perfectly above it. Pretty sure that's why they did that. And I love this little table. I kind of want it in a slightly bigger size as well for my bigger homes. But obviously that doesn't really make sense with the tiny theme, but I do like that. We've got our sustainable looking toilet, the very big floor lamp, which I still don't see it as much of a tiny pack item, but it is aesthetically pleasing to look at. And then this here, I do actually move it across a little bit because the sim was struggling to get past. So I do make that, I do player test that before I saved this. So when I finally do upload it to the gallery, it'll all work. So I made sure of that. Love the proof. The proof is my favorite thing ever. And I also sized it down. It looks quite cute sized down. I mean, if the Sims don't sit on it, which apparently they don't, they could, I don't know, but apparently they don't, then it's okay. It's decor. It can be sized down. Doesn't matter. Or your Sims will just be like sitting on air, which is kind of magical. So whatever. It's all good. And then the bathroom here, I think I just put like a regular shower in because of base game. I didn't want to use one of the uni showers. Yeah, so that's just the base game shower. I love that little sink. I love that the sink's kind of curved. That's a nice design. Very nice. And then of course we need the toilet paper. Speaking of which, I need to get more toilet paper. I almost ran out, so I'm glad we had this conversation because next time I went to the toilet, I wouldn't have any. So, woof. Lucky we made this video. And yeah, it's pretty much all coming together. There's just a desk here and I was like, oh, I wanna fit this somewhere, but where is it gonna go? So we had to get rid of the desk, unfortunately. But up here there's gonna be some plants, there's gonna be a little barbecue area, you've got the lounge that was added to the game a few patches ago, which is nice. So if you haven't seen that, there are now sun lounges in the game from a little while ago. And yeah, just putting a whole heap of plants around the place. So it's looking pretty good. And of course we needed a little seating table on the rooftop to eat your barbecued food at. So just trying to find a table that can work for that. A few chairs around it, sticking with that kind of black industrial looking theme, I suppose. This house is more industrial looking. The other one was a little bit more cutesy looking. I wonder what our next one is going to be like and how many bedrooms we're going to try and add. I feel like you guys are going to think of a really hard challenge and I'm scared. Of course, we just want to finish this off with a little bit of terrain painting because terrain painting always makes it look a little bit more realistic. I forgot the outdoor bin or the outside bin in the last video as well. So just popping those around the place. And yeah, this is pretty much the final look and feel of the build. So we're gonna jump into some screenshots in just a second so you guys can see what it's like from the Sims perspective. Oh, I just remembered I have not used the first person camera forever. I need to do that again. So here we go. There's our little tiny home. It's cute. It's cute. It kind of blends into the environment a little bit more. It's not like a bright, colorful house. It's kind of subtle. And yeah, there's the floor plan, so you can kind of see how it works. If you want to recreate it, you can, or you'll be able to download it from the gallery soon anyway. I love these pot plants sized up just near the front door. We're gonna walk in. There's our little kitchen. Very cute. Makes me want to go make a nice cup of cocoa and sit down on my cozy little couch or my cozy little bed. And there you go. And then there's the bathroom too. So yeah, ready for a sim to move in and enjoy. In their cozy, cuddly clothes as well, which I wanted to add to because I love those pajamas so much. But that was actually meant to be at the end of the screenshots. My bad. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you want the next tiny challenge to be in the comments down below. And of course, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Dag dag!